Yes, so I dey with Cosmos Chukwuemeka, the sports evangelist. On the man, wetin Ronaldo play for Super Eagles that time? You don't know. Ask Cosmos, he go tell you. I dey for Darling 107.3 FM. My name na I go talk.
Check situation. Mic check 1-0. Mic check 1-1. Mic check 1-2. For the first time since 12-12, oh my word, we recorded the lowest when it comes to transfer fee paid. Oh my word, on the transfer deadline day. Yes, very, very poor for the first time since 2012 because there is no money. That's the effect of coronavirus. Oh my yeah, I tell you, no champion forever. Everything that goes up surely will surely come down. Only time will tell. Good evening to everyone under the sound of my voice, and thanks for joining me on the program. We call it Sports today on Darling FM 107.3. And Cosmos, the son of Chukwuemeka, remains my name. It will never, ever change. Today I'm supposed to be the Tuesday edition of the program, and there is always a lot to serve on the show. Only if you keep it locked down 107.3, baby. Them know they shout up NEPA for London, and you know, I know. You know that our Marco here can never ever be Malaysia. And for Real Madrid Football Club, they've now gone 3 transfer windows without signing any player. Oh my word. Yes. Like someone will always say, if some people they piss you off, what do? You go wee-wee. And for Zinedine Zidane, there's a report that he must win, oh my word, the Champions League. Yes. To retain his job as the manager of Real Madrid. According to AS, they are the one reporting this one. Let's see how it goes. But I'm not alone on today's edition of the program. RG David is right here. And let me bring in him in the world of boxing. Anthony Joshua stepped up the fighting talk and also won Tyson Fury that he relishes going to war in the ring as the pair move closer to a heavyweight mega fight. Yes, boxing fans, of course, we are looking forward to this particular one. We are with the pendulum swing, $1 million question. In the morning, I talked about how the promoter Eddie Hearn confirmed that, okay, come June, this fight will see the light of the day, but then they have about 2 weeks from now to finalize every details and then also pick a venue. That's what we're looking forward to. Good evening to you, Archie David.
Yeah, good evening, Mr. Cosmos. Good evening, Oweri. Today is Tuesday, the 2nd day of February. And thank God for Anthony Joshua. Thank God for a certain Tyson Fury as well. Because right now, we're actually building up to one of the biggest, greatest fights in boxing history, in British boxing history. Because these two Brits, whenever these two guys actually take up the ring, when they will eventually take up the ring, hopefully come this June, it's going to be a blockbuster fight. Something that I just can't wait to see. I love Tyson Fury so much. I have his body structure, I resemble him by face and everything, but I still love Anthony Joshua so much simply because he's Nigerian. So we're just building forward to a very, very intriguing match that I just can't wait to see those two guys actually square up in the ring.
Alright, for the ATP, Rafael Nadal has pulled out of Spain's opening ATP Cup tie with a lower back problem less than a week before he beats for a record 21st men's Grand Slam title at the Australian Open. The world number 2, 34 years of age he is right now. He was scheduled to face Australian Alex Dimiano at Melbourne Park on Tuesday today. But Nadal said that he hoped to play for the 2020 runners of Spain against Greece, but that will be on Thursday. For Novak Djokovic, earlier he gave defending champion Serbia a winning start, and for world number 1, Djokovic beat Denis Shapovalov 7-5 at the Serbia claimed a 2-1 win over Canada in their opening Group A match. For Milos Raonic, he had put Canada also ahead with a 6-3, 6-4 win over Dusan Lajovic, but Djokovic and Filip Krajinovic, they also won the doubles match against Raonic and Shapovalov 7-5, 7-6, 7-4. For defending Australian Open champion Djokovic, he has won all 10 singles and also doubles match he has played at the ATP Cup, which was introduced to the tennis calendar that was in 2020. Talking about Roger Federer, he also said that he hopes to return from a long-time knee injury at the Doha's Qatar opening. That will be Doha's Qatar opening match. Yes, so we're counting down for him. The two-time Grand Slam champion, he will miss the Australian Open for the first time in his career after having 2 knee surgeries in 2020. For the Swiss, he has not played since his loss to Novak Djokovic in the semi-finals in Melbourne in January last year. All right, let's wrap up from there. And time for us to talk about the round letter game, and this is where I introduce my next guest. Yes, I'm talking about I'm having Orji Square in the building. Yes, good evening to you, the editor of Trumpeter newspaper and also the national officer for Swan, Samson Orji. Good evening to you.
Good evening, Cosmos, and welcome Owerri sports fans.
All right, let's start from the federal government. We hear that they may come to the assistance of the Edo State towards hosting the 20th National Sport Festival, expected to take place in Benin City from February 14 to the 28th, also this month. For the Minister of Youth and Sports, Sunday Dare, he made the revelation at the just concluded 2021 Admiral Pobeni boat race in Abuja, yes, at the weekend. And he said that the federal government will support the state as the ministry awaits the approval for the support. So we can't afford to postpone it again.
Yeah, of course, I think those of us who have been following the incidents since it was first postponed, I think about 2 years ago, it has suffered a lot of postponement, and not minding what the second wave of COVID is actually doing in the country as we speak. I think it will be a good thing for sports development, and of course preparing us ahead of the Olympics as well, that this festival holds, and then we harness the talents who have been training at the state levels, and a lot of money has also been put in camping them and trying to develop some of the facilities they also have with them. So I think it is high time they just come in, the federal government usurps whatever is remaining that the Edo State government has not been able to come up with, and see to the fruitful hosting of that sports festival.
All right, RGW, let's talk about Nigeria Professional Football League midweek fixture. Rangers versus Dakada. That game will be live on television tomorrow. What are you looking forward to?
Well, it's going to be a very, very interesting game. A crack of a game tomorrow between Rangers and Dakada FC. So for me, I don't really want to dwell much on this particular game, but I give it to Enugu Rangers, considering the fact that these guys are playing at home, and they also, in fact, they are in fine from this season, starting the season on a very good note. Not like last season, whereby at the point in time, towards the early stages of the season, they were actually threatened with relegation. But right now, I give it to Rangers. Salisu Yusuf and his boys, fantastic, anytime, any day, maximum 3 points for them.
All right, while you're talking about the maximum 3 points, anytime any game will be showed on television, the host team, they are always afraid that they cannot do Maman Kitchen envelope. Yes, you cannot do any shenanigans. Same thing with the referee. The referee is always under pressure, knowing that all eyes is watching. If you do any mistake, you might be there's a tendency that you might be demoted. So same thing will be playing in the minds of Heartland Football Club. Remember, one of the reasons why the game between Heartland and FC Fine was moved to Thursday was because the game will be showed live on television. At least at worst, safe APFL TV. Yes, we are guaranteed of that. But then they've marked it for television. It will be on NTA. So now Heartland will be playing their first game on television on Thursday, 4 p.m. at the Dana Yam Stadium. Are we going to be under pressure against FC Fine-Yoba, who also, they are our brothers, and then anytime we play them, the grass surely suffers. That's Orji Samson.
Yeah, I think it's a very good one for us to showcase the green turf of the newly refurbished Dana Yam Stadium. And for the fears some of us may be entertaining, I think it will go down well for Heartland FC, notwithstanding what will really come into play. Heartland have been playing good football since after playing Enyimba, defeating them right here in Dana Yam. We also played well against Rivers United. You and I saw that match, Cosmos, yeah. And of course from the follow-up we did right here in Owerri during the match against Jigawa in Kaduna, it wasn't a bad one, but for those shenanigans that may have taken place and allowed Jigawa to run away with the 3 points, I think if we have a referee that will stand on his feet and give a 50-50 officiating, Heartland would definitely smile home with 3 points on Thursday.
Okay, all right. NPFL.tv. In case you've not subscribed, you won't be allowed to come see that game aside for some selected journalists. So the best thing you can do for yourself is to subscribe to mpfl.tv or sit back at your home. If you have the normal antenna, you can just watch NTA and you get a glimpse of the game. On Thursday, all things being equal, if 1 + 1 continues to be 2 and not 11. If 1 + 1 continues to be 2 and not 11. But let's move on. Former Manchester United striker Odion Ighalo has arrived in Saudi Arabia to seal his move to Saudi Arabian club Al Shabab. Yes, a Manchester United fan is here. Oji Samson, what do you make of Odion Ighalo from Man U all the way to Saudi Arabia?
Yeah, I think for me, I think I listened to some analysts talking about him getting towards the end of his career. Age might not really
he's just 31.
Yeah, he's just 31.
Is older than him.
But of course, you and I know what that 31 would mean.
But I just needed to remind the analyst.
Okay. Well, of course, for the Bucks, the late Stephen Keshi, when he was asked this same question, he said at that age and coming from Africa, understanding his background, that he will go for the money. I think I should have advised him to go for the money. He was not getting enough playing time. Most of us were angry with Ole Gunnar Solskjaer that he was not giving him enough game time. But of course, if you look at his performances in the league, he wasn't that exceptional, though he might have had a good run in the cup games. But of course, in the league, he wasn't really there. And of course, Cavani coming in, he needed to look elsewhere if he was not getting the playing time.
All right, let's move on and talk about Scottish Premiership giant Rangers. They've also announced a pre-contract signing of Nnamdi Ofobo from Bournemouth on a 4-year deal. Yes, a Nigerian is right there. For the FIFA World Cup, Oji David. Yes, we hear that it will kick off on the 4th to 11th of February in Qatar. And it was, of course, moved from its original December because of COVID-19. So 2 days from now, the Club World Cup will be up. FIFA Club World Cup will be upon us. What are you looking forward to?
Yeah, we're actually looking forward to African Giant talking about Al Ali making out presenting for me a very, very good show, you know, because if they can actually win their first round, that means they will go on to face European champions, talking about Bayern Munich in the semi-finals of the FIFA Club World Cup. So for me, it's going to be a very, very good outing. I'm a Nigerian, I'm African, so I'm rooting for Al Ali to actually give a very, very good outing. And also, if they can win their very first match, making it to the semi-finals against Bayern Munich, what a cracker of a game it's going to be, because we're going to be seeing on the touchline we're going to be seeing a certain Hans Flick and also Pizzo Mosimane, and this is something that I definitely want to see because of how I just want to see that particular game between Bayern Munich and Al Ali.
Let's break it down. Bayern Munich booked their slots by beating Paris Saint-Germain in the final of the Champions League last season in Lisbon. Now they will be joined by, just like he mentioned, Egypt's Ahly and also Mexican outfit Tigres, and not forgetting Doha-based side El Duha and South Korea's Ulsan Hyundai. Yes, they will be playing this one. For Palmeiras, they will enter as South America's representative after winning the 2020 Copa Libertadores by beating fellow Brazilian side Santos in the final. That was on the 30th of January. Now for Auckland City, champions in New Zealand, they will not be taking part because of the coronavirus. Yes. Now with this withdrawal right now of Auckland City, no first round matches will take place this year. No first round matches because they pulled out. Alright, now instead, the host team, Al Duha, will now enter the Club World Cup in the second round along with 3 other teams. Now the second round fixtures will determine who faces seeded teams, Bayern Munich and Palmeiras, in the semi-finals. Now the final will take place at the Education City Stadium in Al Rayyan, Qatar, but that will be on Thursday, 11 February at about 7 p.m. Nigerian time. So we're looking forward to this game. Tigres versus Usain and Al Duha, the host nation, versus our own Ahly. That's the first game. Yes, Oji Samson, your take quickly.
Yeah, of course. I think apart from TP Mazembe of DR Congo, I don't think there's any other African club side that has actually done very well in the World Club Cup. But just like Oji David also pointed out, Al Ahly, they've had a good consistency in winning the CAF Champions League. They've been stable. They've not had any distractions in terms of the COVID-19. I think their team is intact. They are in good shape. If they can keep their feet on the ground against the host side, probably they will progress into the next round.
All right. So one more time, Al Duha versus Ahly. The winner takes on Bayern Munich, and we can't wait for this particular one. Let's talk about Olympic Marseille manager. His name is Andre Villas-Boas. Yes, he has offered his resignation after French club signed Olivier Ncham when he didn't want him. Now, there's also another report saying that yes, when he granted the press conference, yes, that he is going to resign if they bring this player, that he was misinterpreted. But before I say Jack Robinson, there is an official statement from Marseille that they've suspended the manager Andre Villas-Boas pending sacking with immediate effect. Now, I can imagine in Nigeria's sector, a coach offered to resign. You they say no. Knowing fully well, say as you say no, you will pay him. If you decide to sack him, you will pay more. But that's the case of Andre Villas-Boas.
But I mean, for me, that's a very disturbing case, and also for Olympic Marseille, because
should he have made that statement?
Yeah, he should have, because even before now, he already made it clear to the club that he was leaving at the end of the season, that he doesn't want to stay at the club. Over the weekend, there was violence at the club. Even the match they were supposed to play was actually postponed simply because about 300 fans actually invaded the training facility of the club, and they caused mayhem. So the club is actually in deep crisis. But for
who's causing the crisis? He's not been winning matches.
But they've not been doing quite bad. They are currently
they've been doing bad. He took the team. He took charge of that team. They recorded one of the worst records in Champions League. Almost 11 games without a win. Not even a draw. Consecutive loss back to back. That's crazy.
Yeah, I think what they should have done was to probably do away with him before this mid-season, before January, and bring in somebody who will come in and do one or two purchases for the club during the break, and then try to rejig the team, because it's not just in the Champions League. They've also not been having a good run in the league, pocket of wins here and there. But then again, Olympic Marseille is not just a club side, it's a traditional side, and that's why the fans are angry. And if they want
them, senior Man City,
of course, and they've won the Champions League before in 1991, if I'm not mistaken. So it's painful for fans of such club to see them dwindling and not doing anything, just like we are doing here in Heartland. And most of us who are die-hard fans of Heartland, we are not happy, because we also want the government to do something. So probably one day the fans of Heartland would also want someone to be removed, so that things will start going on fine. Cosmos.
Absolutely. All right, we'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we'll talk about the Coppa Italia semi-finals. Inter Milan versus Juventus. The grass usually suffer. It's a two-legged affair.
Darling FM 107.
time, all day. Good evening once more. In case you just tuned in, the program remains the Sports Today on Darling FM 107.3. Cosmos, the son of Chukwuemeka, still remains my name. It will never, ever change. Before we went on that break, we're talking about, oh my word, man. Yes, the Coppa Italia semi-final. And then in France, Neymar has agreed a new 4-year contract with Paris Saint-Germain, and we can't wait to hear the final one. Like how fast things changes, but it is what it is. Inter versus Juve. Romelu Lukaku will be suspended in this tie. And then ask yourself, how many goals will Ronaldo score? Oji David, let me start with you.
Well, Ronaldo is actually going to be on the score sheet in this particular game. We know that he missed out being in the score sheet in the last match they actually played in the Italian Serie A. It was Federico Chiesa and Adam Ramsey that were actually on the score sheet. But this time around, Ronaldo is going to be on the score sheet because I love him so much and I want him to score.
Is it about love or is it about what he brings to the table?
He brings a lot to the team, but I'm also bringing I'm personally infusing my own love for him here. I want him to score because I love him, and he brings a whole lot to the team. Even though he's not scoring, he's also finding a way to actually create chances for the team. Because one thing about Ronaldo is this: Ronaldo is a serial winner. He wants to win, and once you're with Ronaldo, he believes that. In fact, he wants everybody in the team.
Is there any player that wants to lose?
There are some players who, when they lose, they are very comfortable. Cesc Fabregas has actually made that known, saying that the Arsenal team that he played with years back, that they were comfortable with losing, but he wasn't.
Okay, all right. Paulo Dybala is out of this tie, and for those who don't know, both clubs, they've emerged victorious against the other at the semi-final stage twice in this particular competition, with Inter winning the last two encounters. That was way back in 2003-2004 and also in 2015-2016 season. That was on penalties though, but then even they also overcome a 3-0 defeat from the first leg in 2016. And for Juve, on the other hand, they are the record holders in the competition, having won 13 times. Oh my word. While Inter have held the trophy 7 times. So where will the pendulum swing? It starts tonight between Omoishe and a certain Oga and Waboy, yes, trading tackles. Andre Pello versus a certain man, yes, Carlo Anthony no, not Carlo Ancelotti now, Antonio Conte. He was his former gaffer, Samson Oji.
Yeah, I think it's a very interesting tie there because if you remember, the cup games in every country is never like the league games. And of course, Antonio Conte has not been able to lay his hand on any trophy since he moved over to Inter Milan from Chelsea, and very close to the, I think, Europa League, where he lost to Sevilla on penalties. So he will want to get one over Juventus and probably continue to tell them, or rather remind them, I am the boss, I used to be your boss. But tonight is all about who wants it more. Absolutely. And just like David pointed out, I think Inter will be missing the services of Romelu Lukaku, because for me, his aerial prowess is something they've been striving with, and he's also getting better with his scoring goals. Although Zlatan accused him of being a voodoo man, we don't know the truth behind that. But of course, Juventus, of course, Juventus have also been trying to get the momentum going under Pirlo. They've been, returning back to winning ways, and like I said, it's going to be a very interesting tie. But I see Juve running away with this one because they look more compact than Inter.
All right, they look more compact than Inter. Quickly, we will be bringing you up to speed with the starting lineup of Arsenal Football Club. They'll be playing away from home against Wolves. The game between Inter and Juve comes up by 8:45 p.m. Nigerian time. Yes, how about you stay tuned? By 9 p.m. in the Copa del Rey action, Almeria takes on Sevilla, where will the pendulum swing? Will be the guest. Now, for Real Madrid also, they've announced that President Florentino Perez has tested positive for COVID-19. He's at 73 years of age right now, and who is 12 years into his second term as club president. He's, however, not showing any symptoms at all. That's what the English people call asymptomatic. All right, let's see how it goes. For Lionel Messi, the battle about him, it continues to make the major headline for the details of his eye-watering £492 million contract that was leaked. This according to El Mundo. Yes, they've reviewed even more staggering clauses in this deal. Let me break it down. This deal that concerns Lionel Messi: £491,735,225. That's what he signed in 2016, and it is the biggest contract in the sporting history. Now he earns £122 million every season. That one is guaranteed. plus gross salary. 102 million pounds, that's his take home for renewing his contract in 2017. 69 million pounds picked up as loyalty bonus for staying at the new camp. 3.1 million pounds if Barcelona wins the Champions League. 1.75 million pounds, yes, that's what he received for playing 60% of Barcelona games. And then 452 million pounds, that's the amount he's already earned from the contract with 5 months left. Samson Oji, that's a crazy figure.
I think this issue, has a two-way thing, because for me, I think La Liga officials should step in and probably try to investigate if financial rules have been probably broken. But from the side of Barca, they've been
president said no, that Messi makes more of the money. That's why they are not even bothered about it.
So what's the noise about?
Exactly.
If that has been established, I think the young man deserves it. He has given them much more than they have given to him.
True. Happy birthday to Gerard Piqué. Yes, he turns 34 today, and then the wife, when they marry, turns 44. Gerard Piqué wife senior am with 10 years. You dey hear me? Now listen, this will not be like all these Nigerian boys or men where they go marry Oyibo wey don old pass them because they find money or green card. Gerard Piqué family rich pass Ronaldo own. He was not born in a poor family. He has always been rich. If family gets money, himself gets money. He can't go marry person senior with 10 years. How many Nigerian person fit do am? Let me start with Oji David. No, even your own one now. Go call family meeting for your head.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
Sure.
If now, even the white one where they go marry, woman and they greet show face.
Why they watch?
But they're living happily ever after.
I think for me, Gerard Piqué, even when he was in Man United, I used to see his work rate. He's someone that he wants to become what he wants to become. He wants to achieve what he really sets his minds on doing, because very little of us knew that he comes from a very wealthy family, because when you say he comes from a rich, I think is an understatement.
Rich is an understatement.
He comes from a very wealthy family, and he's one of those players who comes from such background but still keeps their head cool and does their dig out in terms of becoming a professional footballer. For me, I think it's all about ego and what he wants to do, and he's doing it with the woman he wants to be with, and their own culture is condoled. But down here in Africa, especially in the East, I don't think
10 years
it will not hold
not
water.
one, not two. 10 years.
10 years.
This is 634 and they are both 34 and 44.
Except it's the other way around.
Okay. Yeah, exactly. If not the other way around, we will fit relate. But Gerard Piqué, you get money, you go marry woman wey senior you with 10 years. Fire go burn water. He won 8 La Liga titles so far: 6 Copa del Rey, 6 Super Copa de España, 4 Champions League, 3 UEFA Super Cup, 3 Club World Cup, 1 World Cup, 1 Euros, and 1 Premier League title. This guy has won titles, better titles more than Ronaldo and Messi put together. That World Cup alone, Ronaldo and Messi go chase am till they grow old. We go see am, no because it's a fact. Are you ready with the team list for the team that will be doing it for us now?
Yeah, Arsenal in goal is Bernard Leno, Hector Bellerin, Rob Holding, David Luiz, and also not forgetting Cedric Suarez, Thomas Partey in midfield, Granit Xhaka, Pepe, Smith Rowe, Bukayo Saka, who missed out in the last game. Not forgetting the French striker, talking about Alexander Lacazette.
Okay, all right. Man U game comes up by 9:15 p.m. Southampton will be their host, their opponent going into this game. And we heard that Scott McTominay was substituted in the last game against Arsenal on Saturday because of stomach cramp, but he's fine and ready to play. Eric Bailly may replace Victor Lindelof, who struggles to play twice a week due to ongoing back problem. Yes, when they get right now. But then when you look at these two teams, Man United are unbeaten in the past 9 Premier League meetings against them. They've won 4, they've drawn 5, and they can complete their first league double over Southampton since 2012-2013. Samson Oji, is it possible? Is it feasible?
I think the first leg, I can't remember if Man U had a draw in St. Mary or if they got one over.
They beat
I think they beat Southampton.
Yes,
it was last season.
Away from home, it was
last season they actually drew with them, and in Old Trafford, Man United have not been clinical enough. That's the bane of that team. If they can do enough to do away with the number of losses they are garnering at home, I think they should be having a good run at the title. This night, if they don't get it right again, get sloppy at the defensive area, probably their best result will be a draw.
Okay, all right. Samson Oji, let me stay with you again. Wolves Arsenal, 7 p.m. That game comes up shortly. What are you looking forward to? Arsenal, they're enjoying 7-match unbeaten run. But then this Wolves side, they've proven to us that they can be spoilers with Nuno Espirito Santo.
But that same Wolves team, Nuno has not been able to actually get them going the way they were last season. They've been dropping points, especially in the type of games they are not supposed to. But they've been upping their ante against the senior players, against the senior teams, and so against Arsenal, they will have their work cut out because they will be more defensive. Talking about Wolverhampton Wanderers, and they want to hit Arsenal on their counter. Definitely, Arsenal will have the position, but then if they are not also clinical at the final third, if they get caught napping at the defense with the counters, with the pace that NATO also brings in that game of the Wolves, definitely I see a 1-0 victory for the home side.
All right, we can see them right now on our screen. They are warming up. They are getting ready. The grass will shortly suffer. Wolverhampton Wanderers versus Arsenal, 7 p.m. And for the coach of the side, Nuno Espirito Santo, he says that his squad has no fresh injury problems at all. Does it mean that Arsenal will collect, or the time will tell? Now for Wolves, they are aiming to do the league double over Arsenal for the first time since 1978-1979 season. They won the first leg. And for Arsenal, they've won 8 of their past 10 top flight away games against Wolves. They've drawn 1, they've lost 1. And this is the 100 top flight meeting between the two sides, and the Gunners, yes, by 45 wins they've won against Wolves, who have won 27 and they've drawn 27 between them. Where will the pendulum swing from 7 p.m. tonight? We will find out. And for Newcastle United, they will be at home against Crystal Palace by 9:15 p.m. Now for the transfers, we also know that a lot went down yesterday, but not what we expected. But then it is what it is. There were only 24 Premier League transfers during the window compared to the average of 46 across the previous 3 years when it comes to January transfer window. Now for the big C's, the Premier League clubs, Arsenal, Man City, Man United, Liverpool, Tottenham and Chelsea, they made just 3 permanent transfers and 3 loan fee transfers, accounting for 35% of the total spend. And the current bottom 4 clubs in the table only spent £6 million only on 7 new players. And the clubs in the same position last season completed a total of 8 signings for a value of £40 million. Wow, what a decline. And the volume of transfer in January 2021 across the other 4 Big 5 European leagues was just over half their previous 3 years average for January. Crazy, I tell you. But for Man United, their defender Marcos Rojo has joined Argentine side Boca Juniors for an undisclosed fee. Now elsewhere, we also saw that Man United brought in Amad Diallo from Atalanta, brought in Delet Levitt. Those are the only 2 players. Samson Oji.
Yeah, of course. I think if you look at the mid window that just closed a couple of hours ago, I think there was nothing really there in the window.
But how about Liverpool? I'm looking at Liverpool.
Yeah, they did a good business bringing in a defender from Schalke and one other from I think it was
from the Preston North End.
Preston North End
for £2 million. You can imagine.
Yeah, that was a very good one. That player was at the verge of moving to Celtic before he came to play, and he has an opportunity of playing both in the Champions League and the EPL. But for Man United, I think they did their business in the summer ahead of this mid-season. So they knew there was no going to be a quality in the market, and there was no money anywhere. We all know what the pandemic has done. So I think even other teams, the bigger teams, Real Madrid, if you remember, in the past 2 seasons they've not done any business. They are hanging on to what they have. And Chelsea also finished their business early enough in the summer. They've not also done anything. Aside from Arsenal and some other clubs who needed to beef up their midfield and the defensive areas, I think there was really nothing going on during this January.
All right. In Portugal, Sporting Lisbon defeated Benfica by 1-0. Full time in that center for those that place the confidential barometer. Go, the one go defense. 0815-050-1073. Liverpool, they will be missing Joao Matip for the rest of the season because of an ankle ligament injury. So thank goodness that they brought in Ben Davies and then Ozan Kabak on the deadline window yesterday. It's good. Let's see how it goes if this will help them out, because I don't envy them at all. Okay, now for the likes of surprisingly Takumi Minamino Oji David, he joined Southampton, whereas a lot of Liverpool fans felt maybe Divock Origi should have been the one to be shown the exit door.
Yeah,
but he's on loan though.
Yeah, though he's on loan, but for Divock Origi has actually stepped up for Liverpool when they needed him at very, very important times. We know that he might not be a first team regular, he might just be that fringe player in the team, but there is something he actually brings to the team, and Liverpool fans will forever be grateful for him, would ever be grateful to him for actually winning. That was the 2019 UEFA Champions League, where it was 4-0 against Football Club de Barcelona in the semi-finals, where nobody personally, I didn't even give Divock Origi a chance in that particular match, but Divock Origi came with the likes of Shaqiri and also Gini Wijnaldum. They sprung up a surprise, so that's the reason why he's still in that team. Some players are actually in the team not because they are first team regulars or because they are fringe players, but simply because they can actually, whenever you call them up, there is something they can do. That's also the case of a certain Olivier Giroud. Olivier Giroud is still a Chelsea player simply because sometimes you call him and
I think just adding to what he's saying, he gives you a whole different complexion. Like the likes of Mandzukic, Zlatan with their aerial prowess. So when you need to change the game, you can call on Origi, but you can't do that with Makanumi. I don't want to.
All right. Good evening. Your name and where are you calling us from? Good evening. You're live. Talk to me. Can you hear me? Okay, please do it to call us back. 0815-050-1073 is the number to be part of the show. We'll take your messages on Facebook. Please do, Oji David, help us out with that. But let's take this call. Good evening.
Good evening, my dear coach.
It's good to have you, sir.
Long time.
Long time no see. You're welcome.
Prophet to Liverpool.
Oh, Prophet of Liverpool. Turn on the radio radio set, sir, please.
Please, I want to comment on the heart plan.
Okay, all right, go ahead, sir.
Please let us use the name of anybody who is willing to transfer Heartland to that name before they get something for us. Heartland is killing us. This is not so when it is stolen Iwanyan or Spartans. Let's see one big man that we can take over Heartland. Things move well, and we are not happy. I played National when I was at this club at Ubome here. So this is not what we see. Elemas, I played at Elemas. And we played National. That time, Tyson Ozabola, Benjin Zako, they are there. What are we looking now? So let one big man take over, please.
Okay. All right. Thank you very much. What we have now is just some set of people who just want benefits. More call them benefit men. Yes, they just want to benefit. That's all.
Cosmos, something new, the government really needs. I think His Excellency, he needs to step in here. Because, when we had the likes of Ignatius Okailam, there was no commissioner disturbing the management in running of the activities of the club. We had the likes of Okeibe. There was no commissioner disturbing them. We had the likes of what's his name, Fanan Duboke. There was no commissioner disturbing them, but they had commissioners at that point. Even in Abia State, Enyimba and Abia Warriors, they have their chairmen, they have their general managers, they also have commissioner of sports in Abia, but they are not interfering in what is going on in their clubs. Rivers United, the same thing. The commissioner will speak on the club, but they don't interfere. In Enugu is the same. Even in Kanu, I don't see the reason why Haaland's own should be quite different, and the government is just keeping quiet, except they wanted to go on relegation.
Which other sport in Imo State is functioning and getting attention?
We talked about this National Sports Festival. We don't even know the fate of the athletes of Imo State. We don't even know how ready they are. We don't know whether they have started camping. We went to Enugu for Southeast Swam meeting. We saw the athletes of Anambra camped in a particular and well taken place, and they were ready to go. So if tomorrow they go there and win laurels, you will say they did something magical. It is all about preparation. It's all about planning. It's all about knowing the right thing to do. It is not only Haaland that is the sporting maybe factor that is here in Imo State. There is table tennis. There is basketball. We used to be champions in Africa in hockey, for crying out loud. What has happened to that particular sport? What has happened to grasshoppers? What has happened to the volleyball players? Cosmos, His Excellency needs to do something.
Okay, needs to do something. Good evening. Hello. Puyaka man, welcome on board. It's good to have you. I greet you. Okay, go ahead. Okay, go on. Oh, okay, not true. Your prediction came to pass. Yes, sir. Not true. Hope say you cash out. You don't have to put much into that matter. Very if we get the best team, so let us try we need to win this match this week. And thank you. All right, thank you very much for your contribution. God bless you. 0815-050-1073. David, can we take some messages on Telegram? Do we have any?
Yeah, we have messages on Telegram. This one from Ike Miracle. Says good evening to Sports Dynamite, texting all the way from Iagua. Manchester United match is going to end in a stalemate as for Arsenal. We're going to destroy our opponents with reckless abandon. Alexander Young says I want Manchester United to lose tonight and Arsenal to win and both teams to score. This one from Amy, texting all the way from Old Road. He says he calls himself the Manchester United Prince. He says Minamino for the Saints is a good one. For those laughing at Manchester United, we shall dismantle your mandibles by beating the Saints by 3-1. This one from God Sing Flamsy says good evening Mr. Cosmos and everyone, you're doing a great job. I have nothing to see for today's match. I love your program. Chigozie Pascal says good evening Mr. Cosmos and my brother in the house is Liverpool FC Amadi from day one. I'm happy now that we have two new strong men. Now Southampton will win and Arsenal will win and we never walk alone.
Alright, good evening, you're live, talk to me. Hello.
Good evening, Sports Evangelist.
Hey, Ogami, I salute you, sir. You're welcome.
Good evening, Haji Samson and David.
Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
And the man Alex calling from Onelga.
Alright.
For the case of Heartland, for us who are the fans and the owners of Heartland, we actually know what is happening. The problem is not from the governor this time. The problem is not from the commissioner, but from the people, the management that has this Heartland land destroyed this club. We heard about the transfer policies. How many players does the club have? I mean, they were just trying to establish the image of the coach and the present board, which is not good. Before some people are clamoring that because of people that you return to Westwood and Central Home, that this will come fine. But what is happening? What I have played is that all of us, we should still have to stand behind the Heartland, no matter what is going on. God will help, they will not go on relegation. Thank you and God bless you.
Thank you very much, Alex from Onega, River State. Moshe Chidiedeji, good evening, the sports evangelist of International Report. I think it's Liverpool and then maybe Arsenal, although I expected Arsenal to have signed a left back. Ben Lewis, good evening, Cosmos. Send me your message from Nazi. I think Arsenal made the most sales and also made the most signing of good players. We'll go for a quick break. When we come back, we continue with the show. Engineer Matthew, I see you, and Charlie Best.
Darling FM 107.3. Darling FM 107.3.
Delight your family mood with delicacies at Mangrove Delicious Foods and Restaurant. Your family and friends must be satisfied with a finger-licking nutritious fresh meal, but African and continental dishes like shawarma, ice cream, popcorn, our yummy tasty fresh bread, mangrove bread, pastries, and delicious hot meal. And at Mangrove, you can get refreshment by the speak with recreational services. And we also offer home delivery services. Visit Mangrove at plot F/27 Housing Area B, New Owerri Capital Territory at Ranger Roundabout, Summer 4040 Roundabout, Owerri, Imo State, Nigeria. Or call 070-8894-8849. Mangrove Delicious Foods and Restaurant. Lots of love.
Charles! Yes, mommy?
Go and bring 2 sachets of hyper bleach for me. Why 2? Because I'm using one to soak the whites and using one to kill all the germs.
But I can't see any germs here.
They are so tiny you can't see them, but they are there. And that is why I trust only hyper bleach to kill them all.
Make your white fabrics whiter and your household free of illness causing germs and viruses with the disinfecting power of Hypo Bleach.
Hey, Papa Emeka, ever since we started taking super bitters, we don't go to the hospital as we used to.
My dear, it marvels me. Super bitters, also known as Aquariki, really works wonders. I can confirm that super bitters is a good mixture of African roots and herbs. It is duly approved by NAFDAC, and above all, it detoxifies your body.
All thanks to super bitters. No wonder everything has changed about you ever since you started taking super bitters. You now look younger, stronger, healthier, and you don't disappoint in the other room. I beg, let me send one to my brother, my sisters, my father, even my mother.
No, just send to your whole community. They should go and buy their own jar. Super bitters, also known as Aquariki, is available in all the markets in Owerri, Imo State, as well as other markets in Nigeria. For inquiries, call 0811-359-1568. Go for the good life today. Go for Super Bitters, also known as Aquariki. Super Bitters, I beg, make you enjoy your life. Take go.
Make your life better with BBC News Pidgin. To get better for this world, you suppose know wetin dey. Make better tori ginger you from your domot to the whole world. Because when you see every for the world, anything dey possible. Make your life better. Search for BBC News Pidgin.
Welcome back to the last lap of the show. In case you just tuned in, the program remains sports today on Zion FM 107.3. Yes, I need to correct this. 1990-1991 European Cup was won by Resta Belgrade, not Olympic Marseille. Olympic Marseille finished second in that game. But there's some reaction on our Facebook page. Charlie Best, Mr. Small Body Big Engine. Good evening, my man's man. The title is between Man City and Man United and Liverpool, and the signing of Bruno Fernandes by United can bring them nearer to the title. Cosmos Chukwuemeka is my name on Darling FM 107.3. In case you don't know, I still have Orji Samson here, the editor for Trumpeter newspaper, and also Orji David. Ike Michaels, good evening. The sports family, Arsenal made the most of the signing, no doubt about that. And Collins Akpagu, good evening, Mr. Cosmos. Yes, send your message from Maryland. I'm happy for Liverpool. Last, they signed defenders. And if I promise Arsenal go play draw, man, you go lose tonight, or Blues, he says. Prince MJ Emeka Dixon, Wolves 1, Arsenal 4. Beatrice B. Marcus, Man U is going to play draw today. All right, those are the messages from Facebook. Good evening. You're live.
Good evening.
I greet you. What's your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Kofi. I'm calling from MPC.
All right.
Good evening, my senior in our country, sir.
Thank you, my brother.
Good evening, other brother. My contribution of this evening is I want to have my take on Heartland. I agree with one of the callers who said that we need to prioritize that club because the club is really suffering. Because if we continue this year with the legislation, this is the only club, this is the only active club that I know people like when it comes to sports want to get involved with. So I pray that the state government to come to our rescue and let us be the legislation of Holland. Every government that comes to keep covering our Heartland, please, we need to do something about it. Thank you very much, sir.
All right, thank you very much for your contribution. I appreciate 0815-050-1073. That's the number to be part of the show. Another call coming through. Good evening, you're live.
Hello, Koyaka people.
Oh my word, man, you're welcome on board. Talk to me.
I Kenny King at the talk.
Okay, where you call me from?
They come from Oji.
All right, go ahead with your contribution.
I want to ask a question, please.
All right.
I want to know if Zlatan Ibrahimovic is having his match ban.
Yes, he has started. He will. No.
He played the last match they played now.
No. Wait. When it comes to Coppa Italia, a ban, you cannot carry it over. It must be served on Coppa Italia. That's the rule.
It's not like England.
Okay, thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, my brother. God bless you. All right, 0815-050-1073. That's the number to be part of the show. We'll go to Telegram after this. Good evening. You're live.
Hello, good evening, Mr. Heke.
I greet you, sir, my secretary.
How you doing?
Very fine, gentle, like 17 I don't know 20 day.
I don't think everybody will inside that studio.
We dey throw away salute.
Okay, my brother. You see, you see all these Chelsea people, when they say Man U will lose, now, find out them now. Man U will defeat Southampton this evening, the party goes to nothing. Don't really talk about that. No. So, about Heartland, I think maybe they try to privatize that particular team. That's the best thing to do for that team right now. Because all those people around the management team, they want their own benefits anyway, I know. Because this ABC government they
don't scatter the whole thing. You don't talk better they go Swiss. You can't go enter broom. Why you go mention broom, my brother? And they use broom, they sweep my house now. You need to count. In the fact we go put for trouble.
I think he's making a very
he's making a point, but if you don't mention the other drug name. But
the big question is who will bail the cat out of the bag? Because who will now come like Iwayamu did? Chief Emmanuel Iwayamu took over the club, funded the club with his own money, but there were still other people who were also putting in their money in one way or the other.
We just need to go because time is fast spent. We'll talk about this on another day. Maybe it's time to privatize Heartland. We'll talk about it. But then I also tell you about the challenges because it's not easy to privatize the club. Yes, go ask MFM, ask FC Fan Yoruba. Yes, before it was FC Fan Yoruba. Now it's not.
Even
only fine, now you be now. I'm not gonna lie you. Thank you very much, Oji David.
Let's do this again tomorrow morning.
Thank you, Samson Oji.
Always a pleasure talking sports on Darling FM 107.3.
All the best to the teams playing tonight. May the better side win. That's my own take. And we'll catch it out to Heartland Game versus FC Fan Yoruba on Thursday, 4 p.m. It will be on television. From me to you all, it is space, love, a river dash.